Welcome to Doing Business in Ghana on the TG Africa YouTube channel. And in this video, what I wanted to discuss is why Ghana is for sale and why the diaspora should purchase it. Now, first of all, I would like to clarify what it is I mean by why Ghana is for sale. You see, most countries function just like private corporations. They all have investors, they have shareholders. They can either run profits and losses, which is often reflected in whether they have a budgetary surplus or a deficit. And on their balance sheets, they also have their assets and liabilities. So these are some of the reasons what makes any country function like a private corporation. And one of the biggest misconceptions a lot of people have about countries is who their primary shareholders and beneficiaries are of the country's economic performance. You see, the truth is the primary beneficiaries and shareholders of any country are those who are the country's main owners of its primary assets and liabilities. So if we look at the case of a country like Ghana, it is very clear that for a long period of time, the biggest primary shareholders have been the IMF, World Bank, and foreign investors, which means that they are always going to be the first ones to get paid, and what is left over is what is then redistributed back into the citizenry. And the reason why this is the case is because a country like Ghana does not have the capacity to raise the investment funds it needs to support its own development from its domestic market. So it often has to turn its attention towards the international markets, which means whoever is the highest bidder is the one who is willing to invest the most in the country. And for a long period of time, it's been foreign investors and multilateral institutions. And that is why currently the biggest shareholders and the biggest beneficiaries of the wealth that is produced in Ghana here goes to these entities. And it's the reason why I'm very passionate about encouraging the diaspora to purchase Ghana, because they are actually emotionally connected to the country, which means that investment into Ghana would not be primarily solely based on the desire for economic benefit, but it will also be motivated by the desire to genuinely see the country develop. Whereas when you compare Ghana to these other foreign investors, their primary motivation centers around pure economic interest. And Ghana is used as an instrument to advance their own self interest. And we also have to remember that foreign direct investment does not always lead to economic development for a country like Ghana. Foreign direct investment only leads to economic development when it has been specifically designed to do so. But in a case like Ghana, most of the time when these deals are being structured, the leverage is for the most part in the favor of foreign investors, because Ghana does not really have alternative financiers it can go to raise money from, which means that instead of the deals being a win-win scenario, it's often highly tilted in favor to the foreign investors' interests. And this is why I am trying to explain why we in the diaspora should look at purchasing Ghana, because a lot of the time we actually underestimate our collective economic power. I mean, for the past 10 years alone, we in the diaspora have contributed about 25 billion to the Ghanaian economy. And this has primarily been through remittances. But the problem with remittances is that just as the money comes in, most of it ends up leaving, because the remittance money is given to our family and friends, who then use the money to consume products and services which have been imported. So what tends to happen is only about 10% of that remittance actually stays and circulates within the Ghanaian economy, with most of it leaving. And the great irony about this is we are trying to support our family and friends back home. But what we are ended up doing is creating a culture of dependency. Because if we really want to support our family and friends, what we have to seriously consider is actually investing in Ghana to create an economic environment which will allow our family and friends to become more economically self-sufficient. So the main thing of what I'm saying is that we in the diaspora should look at purchasing Ghana, and we should look at becoming its primary shareholders, because we are the ones who are more likely to actually want to not only make profit from investing, but also contribute towards the development of a country like Ghana. And if we fail to take advantage of this opportunity available to us, what is going to happen is the primary wealth that is going to be generated in Ghana is going to be given to foreign investors and multilateral institutions. So I hope you found this video useful. And if you would like more information about doing business here in Ghana, feel free to book a consultation with us, and make sure to grab yourself a copy of The Great Return. And I'll see you in the next video.